Hey everybody, this is Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and in today's video we're going to do part 2 of the CGC unboxing that I started in the previous video. Now both of these boxes came in today. Today is May 20th, so if you're watching this, and it probably will be at least a week before I actually put this video out. The reason I put the date on there is because I wanted to let you guys know when this order came in, so you have an idea how long it took CGC to get the books into their system and then back to me into my hands. So I'm literally going to give you a date here. I'm looking at the sheet that's sitting there in front of me. It was February 8th when these books went in, and it's today, as I said, it's May 20th. So that's a really good turnaround. CGC we're doing really good getting these moderns in and out. So far I've been happy with the grading. I do pre-screens. This is a pre-screen order right here, and if it doesn't meet the grade, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. Well, it bothers me when certain books don't meet that grade, obviously, but it's fine that in a lot of cases, if that book fell below that grade, I don't want it graded. I'd rather take it back, sell it raw, keep it raw, or work on it and resubmit it and try to get it bumped up some more. So anyway, I know we're going to suffer a little bit on this. This is a much smaller box than I'm used to on these pre-screens. But again, this is part of the system that I'm working on. And this, to give you some more information, is a pre-screen 9.4 pre-screen. And it's got some older books. And if I'm looking at my list, I've got my trusty list here off to the side, so when I'm referring to that and I look down and everything, that's what I'm doing. I've got a list here that tells me how much I spend on the books and how much the value is. What was the fair market value when I put this order out? What was the fair market value for these books, all based on a 9.4? Now, I'll be honest with you, in these cases where these don't meet the grade, I'm a little shocked and a little disappointed, because I think I do a really good job on working on these books, and when it doesn't meet the grade, that's a personal affront to me. I think they're better than that, and true, I might have missed something, and this was at the beginning of when I started really considering, when I work on a book, to not try to just get it out to CGC. As soon as I get that book in that condition, let's send it out. This was sort of in that time frame where I have started learning that no, don't rush it out the door at that point. Let it set, let it breathe a little bit, and maybe what happens is a lot of times the time will let those paper defects, those little creases that creep back in with paper memory, maybe they sneak back in. And if I can hold on to books for a little bit, let them breathe, as I said, and come back to it, and if it still has it, work on them again, and kind of do that over and over a little bit. I don't have to rush these books out. These books have been around for 30 to 40 years. It's fine. It'll be there. The values are there on these. It's not the end of the world if it sets a little bit longer, but it really seems to have started paying off by letting it sit there longer, and gives you that chance to work on it some more. So anyway, guys, let's get into it, and we'll figure out what didn't make the grade, and hopefully, what I was going to say was hopefully that the grade's better than the 9.4. As I said, I set the values of a pre-screen at what's the lowest amount that I would want to have in these books, or as a return if I was going to sell these books. And I didn't put it lower than this because there just wasn't a lot of value in doing something like that. So, alright, so what we have here is a box within a box. So this is a little awkward. So it's really sitting down there. I'm gonna open up the outer box. Sorry about this, guys. If I'd known this, I would have pre-opened the box. So alright. Now that explains why the box didn't have fragile on the front there, is because it is a much smaller box. So this is going to be This is going to be a little bit hard to take. Let's see how many we actually got out of the 25 on this 9.4 pre-screen. So let's take a look. And let's, before I'll turn the box around so when I pull them out. Alright, so let's pull out the big giant box of Raws. So I've got my work cut out for me on this. We'll have to readdress these books. Trust me, they will be, because money was put into these books, I'm sure, in a lot of these cases. And I'll tell you where most of these come from. I'm looking at the sheet here, and most of them come from the Baltimore Comic Con, but other ones are ones I picked up from some of the local comic book shows, a couple from Whatnot, and I think I've got one in here that was a from the PC that I originally bought when it came out. So, okay, let's just see what we've got here. Alright, I've already seen the grade, but you haven't. This is X-Men 234. This is one of those classic purple covers that I like to call them, from the X-Men run, Dave Silvestri. Let's see what we did. 9.6. Okay, what am I saying? It's better than the 9.4. As I said, this order was a 9.4. I didn't expect these all to be 9.8s. These books, like this here, black all the way up and down, I mean, it will show off defects left and right. So 234 as a 9.4, I've got it as a $135 value, so that's 9.6, definitely better. Let's see if I've got it on my list. And so as a, well, definitely the values changed. I got to definitely look this up. So I think part of this, I've got a value of what a 9.4 was, but I think the values have changed, because when I did this list, I think it was after this. So right now I've got this as an $80 value. So there's a good example of, as time goes by, the values on some of this stuff will fluctuate. So when you hear me say a value on something, and you go out there and you say, Rusty, you're full of it, it's not even close to that. Well, at one point, yes it was. So let's just go with that. Alright, here we got X-Men 268. This is the second one I've sent in. And I've already seen the grade as I was picking it up, so I know what I got. It's a 9.6. Again, a better than what I had wanted on this. So let's see. 268. Yeah, I've got this as a 9.4. I've got it as a $100 value, but tell you what, instead of just sitting here trying to look up each value as I go through, I will throw up values on the screen afterwards on anything above a 9.4. So let's just continue on. I'd love to get a 9.8 on that 268. It's probably my second favorite Jim Lee X-Men issue. 256 being my favorite, with the Lady Mandarin, Psylocke as Lady Mandarin. That one right there that I just pulled out was probably my second favorite. Just love that cover. Love his rendition of Captain America. All right, here is 244. This is the one that was in my. Yeah, I've got this down as the one from my PC. So let's see what we did. Awesome. First appearance of Jubilee. That's what you want. You want a 9.8 on that. That is freaking awesome. That is awesome, and as I said, I'll put a value on the screen here what that's going for these days. But I will tell you what, since I've got it here, $105 for a 9.4. That's awesome. All right, let's continue on with this. All right. I'm going to have several of these, so I don't know how many actually made the grade and how many maybe hopefully went above the grade, but it'd be really nice if they went above the grade. But we've got X-Men 184. This is the first appearance of Forge, and John Romita Jr. artwork. Let's see how we did on this. 9.6. Okay, this is a 9.4 pre-screen. We're doing better than that. We are doing better than that. So that is awesome. don't know what I missed. I do so many of these, and if I don't find that I have as much time to go back on a book like that and then scrutinize it to see what I missed. I really should. It's part of this process. You should learn from this. All right, here's a second copy of 184. Let's see if we did how we did on this one. 9.8. There we go. There we go. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Let's see where those came from. Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3 from the Baltimore Comic-Con. I've got 5. I got 5 of this book in here. So this is going to be a really good example. One of the YouTubers did a video recently where they talked about how they felt like the CGC was getting lazy with their grading. And if you had multiple copies of the same thing and you got a low grade on one, it just brought the grade down on all of them. And it has not been my experience. I felt like each book has been graded individually. Nothing has led me to believe that it's other than that. So, all right, third copy, 184. How are we doing? How are we doing? Oh, okay. There's your pre-screen, 9.4. So, what did I tell you? 135 at the time when I put this order together. So, 9.4. All right, continuing on. All right, going to go back over to Spider-Man. You're going to see a lot of these. I started back here in Baltimore in October. I was getting a lot of Spider-Man, X-Men, some Avengers, some Fantastic Four, books that I grew up with in the 80s that I just absolutely loved, and I really dove into trying to find really good copies that I felt like I could clean and press and bump up. So in some cases, in a lot of cases, I've been really highly successful getting them up. But in some cases, I'm shocked at, it's like, well, what did I miss? I mean, it's a pretty big spectrum there. All right, this is 251. This is the early Hobgoblin. Let's see how we did. 9.4. Okay. Not as good as my last order when I got some Spider-Man in, but still a 9.4 is respectable. 9.4 on ASM 251. I mean, I've got it as a $150 value. Again, that could be probably at this point. Market seems to have been down right now, probably a lower than that. But that's okay. That's okay. All right, we have another copy of 244. When I say another, I've sent in multiples of these. My last order had a couple of these. In fact, I think one of them had a Mark Jewelers insert, which is the only one I think I've ever owned on that. But let's see how we do. And I apologize. I will look at the list here, but I think I've got multiples of these. So let's see how we did. 9.4. Okay. So 9.4. I've got that at 150. I'm very sure that this has gone down in value since then in this market right now. So, and what did I say? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 in this order. So we will find out how many actually met that 9.4. All right, well, we know that another one met that pre-screen, so let's see if we did any better than 9.4. No, we got another 9.4. Okay. Okay. Moving on. All right, here's the third copy of that. All right, ready? 9.4. Interesting. Well, even that though they're getting 9.4s, I'm still not feeling that they are getting graded based on just one of them. I still feel like they've been graded accordingly. These books, all of these weren't necessarily the 9.8 candidates. I felt like everything was going to be a 9.8. It's kind of hard not to think that way, though. It's more like I think I can do really a lot of good on these books, but I know they're not perfect. So it's a great day when it's a 9.8. It's really good when it's a 9.6. You'd hope that you've gotten them up higher. the pre-screen protects you just in case you've missed stuff. All right, this is 258. You guys know I love this issue. You keep seeing it in the last few videos. And 258 is when we find out that the costume is an alien being. It's an alien symbiote that leads. It's part of the origin of Venom, and just some wonderful Ron Friend's artwork. And so it's kind of a classic. It's sort of a minor key, but it's got really good value. You can get a 9.8 on something like this, you've got some value. And I've been lucky, and watch my video from a few unboxings ago, you'll see I got 9.8s on this. It was awesome. 9.4. Yeah, I might be thinking that this is an order that's I'm getting knocked on a little bit. 9.4 on 258. I still have it as a $150 value. It is a key book, so no matter what, it's got that going for it. All right, and then we got the next one. This is 259. This is the origin of Mary Jane, and again, another book that you saw in the last couple of videos. I know I've got a 9.8 on one of those. All right, let's see how we did on this. 9.6. Okay, that's respectable. And sorry about that. My monitor is going to sleep again. That's what happens when I ramble on like this. I hope you guys are still staying tuned. All right, last book in this submission, and I'll do a count here, and we'll figure out how many we made, how many made the grade, and how many didn't. This is 245. Another book from the same videos. I bought a lot of these copies, working on a lot of them. I thought all of them were really good candidates for high grades. And we know we got at least a 9.4. How do we do? 9.6. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. 9.4 on 245. I had 9.4 is a $150 value. So again, I would put money that a lot of these values have gone down since then. But yeah, not bad. Not bad. This is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're at that halfway mark right there. Let's dig into the raws real quick and see if we can bang this out here this evening. But I will definitely take the chance to go back and look at these books, these raws, and I keep the raws off to the side. I go back and I'm starting to revisit them, and more of these orders I do. When I get these back, I put them together. I am considering doing a singular order of nothing but rejects. My thing is, I'm trying to find a reject level. Like this would have been, if I send these in again, it'll still probably be a 9.4 pre-screen, so I need to make sure I've got 25 to put into that. So these books right here, that one didn't make the grade. Really? So let's just go through it. Big disappointment on this right here, because I know how much I spent on it. This is 265, the first appearance of Silver Sable. 249, early appearance of Hobgoblin. Another copy of 259. Another copy of 245. Got two more copies of 251. Two more copies of X-Men 184. Another copy of Spider-Man 244. The other purple cover didn't make the grade, and that was 251. As I said, I'm a little shocked on all of these. Is this a failure on my part to not know my grading? Yeah, probably. I'm probably not as good at it as I really should be. Maybe I'm using the pre-screen as a crutch, but at the moment it's working for me. X-Men, this is Heroes for Hope X-Men. And this is kind of surprising. I I don't buy this, to be honest with you. I don't see how this is falling under a 9.4. We will take these books out. We will look at them, but it's Secret Wars #1 right there. So you tell me that wasn't a 9.4. You're full of it. But in previous unboxings, when I got books that were not graded than this, and I went back, and a lot of those were not. Most of the orders I've done up before these were mostly 9.8. They were very modern books, and I get that. You miss a tick that's slightly color breaking. I get that. That makes sense. And I've gone through those, and as I said, I started pulling them out, and there's books I think I could help just a little bit more. Maybe I can get them to that 9.8. And there was books that's definitely okay. It's not going to get there, and the value isn't going to be there for a 9.6. So those I won't resubmit. But the ones that I feel like met the grade that I wanted it to be, we're going to work on them. We're going to put them together, and I can tell you, especially the Spider-Man 265 and this book right here, they're going to get worked on again, and I will again revisit the values at the grades. What going forward as a 9.4, or yeah, this is 9.4. What that grade is at a 9.4, I probably will go into another pre-screen, the same pre-screen, but if it can always change. But anyway, that's it. That's all the books. Hope you learned something from this video. I learned that I need to probably look at these books a little bit longer and give them a little time after you work on them. Give them a little time to breathe, come back to them, look at them again, take them out of the bags again, and start the whole process over again. You don't have to rush out every order. You can take your time with these orders, and that's what I'm going to do with this again. I'll take them out, and we will start working on them again and see if we can make some improvements. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video for today. This is like I said, part 2 of that 2-part unboxing. I've got another order coming in right after these. As I said, CGC is on fire, getting your boxes back. It is going to be a monster unboxing. It is only 3 books, but they are super keys, and I'm excited about them. And yeah, that should be in here either tomorrow or the next day. And of course, that video, I'll do that video when I do that unboxing, and that video will come after this one. So it may not be, I probably won't do the video day after day. I try not to put a video up the next day when I do these things. I try to do a video and then give it at least 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 days at least before I do another video. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. What do you think of the books I got? And what do you think of the books that didn't make the grade? So give me your thoughts. And anyway, I'm out. We'll talk to you in the next video. Take care.